Good morning. So I would like to give an overview of some of the activities that we have undertaken at IIT Bombay to promote open source software. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of the educational aspects of it. And then after me, Professor Phatak will round up, and then he will give an overview of NME ICT itself. So I'm going to have a smaller focus, and I decided to make my talk more of like them. I can give a demonstration of some of the things that we are doing. So that made my task easier because I didn't have to make slides. Okay. So I'm going to begin with spoken tutorials, and a spoken tutorial is a 10-minute audio-video tutorial. It's a screencast. The important thing is it is created for self-learning, and wherever possible I would like to illustrate this using the material that we have on Python. So let me, I have already selected Python here, you see here, and then English is what I have selected. Let me see whether we get a set of, so this actually gives a set of Python tutorials. We make it slightly bigger. Okay. So these tutorials are each of about 10-minute duration, and these are arranged in a particular sequence. For example, getting started with IPython, using plot command interactively, embellishing a plot, and so on and so forth. There are 37 such tutorials, and it is these are created by the Python team at IIT Bombay. Now let me take one of them, say using the plot command interactively. So you see all the entire playlist here. Let me play this.
Hello friends, and welcome to the tutorial on creating simple plots using IPython. I hope you have IPython running on your computer.
So this is the second tutorial. So in the first tutorial, you would have talked about how to install IPython, for example. Now if you come down here, there are a lot of things available. In particular, the script that we used to create the tutorial. If there are any programs required, for example, if this code says, if this video says, open this data file, okay? So that data file can be made available here. So all of those are available. And if something is missing, you always have something that says report missing component. As a matter of fact, in some of the tutorials, some things are missing. So I indicated to our people. So they will. So we have a methodology to have this, take customer user feedback, and then update it. What I want to do is I want to show you about the self-learning aspect of it. How is it made suitable for self-learning? So let me come to this script. So if you see the script has two columns. It has visual cue and narration. So this is what is to be created before the video is made. For example, you know that in the movie industry, people always ask for a script before a movie is made. In a similar way, we also ask for a script. But once we get the script, what we do is we subject it to novice check. The beginner has to go through it and certify they can reproduce every command on their own without any help. We believe that this is a way to make these tutorials suitable for self-learning. So the moment that as a beginner says, I'm stuck here, normal tendency is to say, what a stupid question, you don't even know this. So that is not at all allowed in our scheme of things. Beginner is the king. Okay? We have to make sure that it is acceptable to him. Okay? So of course, some people might say that it is boring and so on. We have taken customer feedback, user feedback from 25,000 people, and they all seem to say that it is not at all boring. Okay? Because if something is boring, you can always fast forward when you listen to the video. Okay. So once we create so you can see that he started off by saying, hello friends, for example. Let me just play this.
At the end of this tutorial, you will be able to create simple plots.
You can see that.
Mathematical functions. Use the figure window to study plots better. Let's start with IPython.
So you can see that he just reads out the script, okay? And the script has gone through novice check, reads, records. Once it is done, what we do is, we want to use this for several other languages. For that, we come up with a timed script. After the video is made, it has gone through review, gone through pilot workshops, accepted, we freeze the video. Then we put the timestamp for each sentence. Okay? And I'm saying that this is useful for language dubbing. Video will be in English, only the audio is dubbed. Okay? So I'll just show you with the same video in let me choose Python again. Choose Hindi. To come. Okay. So let me take this using the same thing. We play this.
नमस्कार, IPython के द्वारा सिंपल प्लॉट बनाने के इस ट्यूटोरियल में आपका स्वागत है। हमें आशा है कि आपके कंप्यूटर पर IPython चल रहा है। इस ट्यूटोरियल में हम निम्न चीज सीखेंगे, गणितिक फंक्शन का उपयोग करके।
So the video is made only once. We put in a lot of effort to create the original video suitable for self-learning. Then we just have to dub the sentence, and we have the timing. Cut and slide each sentence to the right time, stitch it to the original video, and then you have the thing. So in our estimate, to dub a tutorial in a language, it takes only about 5% of the original effort. So in double the effort, we can actually do it into all languages, okay? Once it is made, once the video is made, it is uploaded here and so on. Then we also make this tutorial available for self-use. People can download. I didn't log in at all. We don't even want to know who is logging in, because if we ask people to give their credentials, we believe that many people will go away. We don't want that to happen. Even if you don't know who they are, it's okay, but we want people to use. Okay? Then we came up with a method called side-by-side method of learning. Okay, what is the method? You have Python running on, your video running on one side, let's say half the screen. In the other half of the screen, we have IPython notebook open, IPython screen open. So in other words, in our method, we do not encourage people to maximize the screen. If anybody maximizes, we ask them to leave the hall. Okay? Half the screen you have video, half the screen you have IPython. So you play it, pause it, try it out on the video. If it works, go to the next command. If not, rewind, listen to it again, and try it. It will always work because it is already created for self-learning, right? So this methodology works because we make the videos available for free, and we make available only open source software. In fact, in the spoken tutorial project, we take only open source software. For example, if you see here, so we have a lot of things, whether it is KTurtle or NetBeans or OpenFOAM or Scilab, Ruby, Perl, GCC, and so on. These are all open source systems. So this side-by-side method works because the tutorials are created for self-learning, and the software itself is available free download because it is open source software. Then it is, although it is suitable for self-learning, we conduct workshops. We conduct workshops because in the colleges, students if you make this available through colleges, do this during class hours in a computer lab, so they don't have to look for computers, and we can make available the video and software, so the students don't have to worry about downloading, installing, and things like that. And of course, it also gives them respectability. It becomes an accepted activity during the class hours. So I'm going to give you some statistics. We have been doing a lot of these workshops. So let me show two sets of statistics. So I have something called, so let me go to India map. Okay, this says that we have until now trained about 530,000 people, about 500,000 students since we started, through about 12,500 workshops. This is for all the FOSS topics that we are working with. I can also take this, let me just take this workshop statistics. So here I can actually say that I want to do this only for Python filter, and this says that we have trained a total of about 23,000 students on Python through about 524 workshops. I can also find out people who did this in this year alone. Okay, take this 01. So this is for the current year, 1/1/2014 to 7/12/2014, and you can see that we trained about 11,000 people, 11,000 students in this year alone. The 23,000 was for 4 years, but 11,000 people in this year alone. This shows that it's actually taking off. Okay. We also have information. For example, latest is on 5th December in Tamil Nadu, Loyola College of Engineering and Technology. You can actually go here and find out who the organizer of the workshop is, who are the people who underwent this workshop, and so on. We get this information. And actually, there is a lot of information on this. Okay. There is another set of stats that I want you to see. Okay, let me go to my main site. And here you can see the page loads, how many people have come to our website to see this. Which one? This whole thing. 5 million is whole thing, but I'm going to give this year's data also. In this year, we have crossed 3 million, this year alone. And another interesting thing is, contrary to what some of the American presidents have said in the past, we don't have internet in every street, every road. Some presidents had mentioned this in the past. Okay? It turns out that most of the colleges don't have access to internet. So we have in fact created a methodology to, here it is. So this is the yearly statistics. You can see that we started with 100,000, 250,000, 500,000, 1 million. So in fact we have crossed 3 million already. We still have about 3 weeks to go in this month. So this, you can see the visits to our website are increasing and also more than doubling every year. But going back to that story, this is only the tip of the iceberg because most of our colleges don't have access to internet. So what we have done is, we have created a download facility. Okay, for example, I'll just show that. It's almost like a shopping cart. So if you see here, under software training, by the way, before I go to that, okay, let me just show that first. There is something called create your own disk image. See this? This is for colleges that do not have internet, because in our methodology, for the workshop, for the training, every student should have a computer and a headphone. Okay? And they do what is known as active learning because they reproduce every command. Right? So it is, they just don't listen. They actually, so it is active learning. So demanding, requiring that every computer has a internet connection is too much of a, maybe an overkill. Most colleges don't have, but they can get maybe one connection for the whole college. So if only we have a methodology to download it. So under software training, we have this called create your own disk image. Now this looks like a shopping cart. You can just say that I want, let's say I want C and C++ in this, in all levels. I want English and Marathi. Okay. I add the selected files, it comes and says the total file size will be 343 MB. Then I can say that, let me do this for, let's say, Python, all levels. Let me say I want only English. I add that. So it says another 292 MB, total is 635. Then I say, hey, this will fit into one CD. Then I say, create a zip file. It will come and ask, what should I do? It's a big file. You download it, you open that. So it will be a zip file. You open it, unzip it, you will have an index.html. You fire that index.html, and whatever you downloaded only will be available. So what this college has to do is to copy the zip file into every machine. Okay? Of course, if a college doesn't have internet at all, we can send it by CD. Right? So this whole thing is made available. And it turns out that the number of users of our tutorials through this offline method is about 20 times. In fact, I can say at least 10 times the number of visitors to our web page. So if you say 5 million views on our web page, that is only about 10% of the users, actual users, because we make this available for offline use. Okay? So I will cancel this because this is a huge file. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about, so we are doing extremely well. We are tying up with the vice chancellors of colleges, vice chancellors of universities, directors of technical education. They are making these compulsory. For example, Director Technical Education Tamil Nadu said that their IT students, IT polytechnics, diploma students do not have good teachers. So he said they must listen to C and Java tutorials, spoken tutorials during the lab hours. He made it mandatory for all the 455 colleges. So people are finding it very useful. It is useful for self-learning. It can be done without teachers because it is already created for self-learning. And we also have a method. If you look under software training, we have something called about the training and workshop. If you go here, you see that what are the topics offered and how does one become a part of this? How does one organize? What is the role of the organizer in the college? How does one download? And then finally, we have names of our people for every state. We have gone to about half the number of districts in the country. Okay? In fact, we have gone to 2,000 colleges. We have a huge network. Whatever we create and put, it will be, we have half of these people whom you see on the screen have MBA degrees. So they market our methodology and all of it is free. We also have an offline, we also have a workshop, we also have an online test, we give certificates for people who pass. All of this is free. So in the remaining few minutes, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to our fossee.in website, briefly tell you, I talked to you about, I demonstrated things for Python. The same thing is available for Scilab. Now if you see, we also created an EDA tool, free EDA tool, which we got by using Python as a glue language. So I have this open source software, let's say KiCad, and then I want to say simulation is not there, SpiCe is there. So how do I glue them? So I use Python. So this way we go on adding, using the strength of open source systems. Website is also Django based. It used to be Drupal based, switched over to Django. So there is this, and then we are promoting this similar activity for OpenFOAM and a lot of other things. Of course, we have another thing called Textbook Companion. You probably are going to talk about it, or you already talked about it. Yeah. So the same thing is available for all of this. So the FOSSEE.in kind of standardizes our approach to promote open source systems, and then we replicate this across open source software. And one of the things that we have learned is that we don't get the question, is Scilab better or Python better? We say together, can we work together, because we need to compete with MATLAB. Okay? All open source systems can talk to each other. We can all be friends, work together, and compete with the commercial software, vested interests, and promoting our systems. So finally, I want to talk about our continuation of our Akash project. So this is the what is called a netbook. What I want to do is I want to pass the mic. There are some people here in the audience who have seen this, so I want them to speak a few words about those of you who have seen this. Whoever want to say something? You guys have all seen. Say something about this, what you have seen.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a laptop which is the biggest USP is it is 5,000 rupees laptop that you can buy. Ultra light with a battery of about 8 hours. All camera, mic, sound, keyboard, HDMI, everything included. With a custom Ubuntu software loaded. It's called FOSSEE operating system.
FOSSEE operating system.
All through from I think all development inside FOSSEE, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to say anything else? What is your user performance? Is it? You can give it to him.
Yeah. So last night we were testing it out, and Jaydev opened some Mayavi plots on it, and like they opened almost instantly, like hardly a couple of seconds, right? The performance is good. Yeah, and because it was loading from an SD card, it also has NAND memory in it, so it is like faster than SD card. Has 1 GB of RAM, right? 1 GB of RAM and a dual core processor. For 5,000 bucks, like it's a steal for me, at least for me. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a person who has put this distribution together is Srikanth. Srikanth, let people stand up. Let people see. So you can actually, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to skip this. Okay, so this is an amazing, in my opinion, it's an amazing system. I'll just keep here during the lunchtime or something. If people want to try it, you're most welcome. It has 8 GB NAND flash, 1 GB RAM, 2 USBs, 1 HDMI, as already pointed out, 1 LAN port is also there. We have tried even terabyte external disk. It works, and it has a 32 GB SD card, so which is available for, I believe, for about 1,100 rupees if somebody wants to download movies and so on. Otherwise, your 16 GB or 8 GB pen drive is more than enough for the kind of code or documents that you are going to create, right? You can of course download a lot of things if you have an external thing. So with that I will, so I wanted to give a flavor of some of the activities that we have in promoting open source software, and this is, comes pre-distributed with lots of open source software. It has LaTeX running, it has IPython, it has Scilab running, it has Perl, Ruby, Java, GCC, LibreOffice, all kinds of things. Chrome is running, Chromium web server is web page is running. So with that, I think I have used up all my time. If there are quick questions, one or two, I'll be glad to answer them. Okay. So the question is where do you buy? Where do you buy? So we are buying this. We are not getting any benefits. There is no subsidy at all. The prices we are talking about, 5,000 plus taxes, is without any subsidy. We know the person doing it, somebody in Delhi. I can always say, you open a branch here, you'll be ready to do that. But supposing you buy this, 2 days later it breaks down. Then you will say, IIT Bombay board told me, and I bought it, it broke down. So it will become front page news in Times of India. Okay? So we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. As a result, we are still not ready. We believe it is very good, but we want to validate it. As soon as we validate it, we are going to inform everybody, and at that time we can buy. It is no, I can say that buy at your own risk. Even if I say buy it at your own risk, if it breaks down after 2 days, you are going to complain, it will become Times of India news. I don't want that to happen. So as a result, I am not recommending right now. Is that okay? Yeah.
So I really like this spoken tutorials website. Are you open to contributions, and what kind of contributions are you looking for?
We want to create tutorials on advanced level tutorials. That is one thing I want. In new topics, many topics have not been covered. There are maybe tens of thousands of FOSS systems, but we have only 25, 30. We are open to covering all of them. The only requirement is the tutorial created has to be suitable for self-learning. That means you have to go through strict rigors. I'm a dictator. So what happens is, just to give a number, C workshops alone have been taken by 125,000 students. So many people have seen each of these videos. So I always tell my staff members, if you make an average tutorial, 10 people will watch it. If you make it 10 times better, 10,000 people will watch it. So that is a kind of multiplication factor, but then you have to put in that effort to make it 10 times better. Most people don't like it. So if you are willing to do that, all of you, you're all most welcome. We are always short of people who have the patience to do the tutorials, that quality that I want. But if you do that, and the dubbing, we also pay a honorarium for this. More than anything, your name will be there. You ask these 125,000 people, they all know Ashwini Patil, because she created the C programming. Okay? Yeah. You want to give this? You will tell me later?
I have been coding for 10 or 15 years. The thing is that when I code with MATLAB, the thing is that there is this documentation. I just need to, if there is a question, I just need to. Whereas when it comes to I prefer this SciPy problem. There is no single place where I can, I want to do this particular thing. There is no single place. I have to go to the office to work. Then I either can talk about different places. I'm getting solution, but it's all scattered around. So, how can we overcome this?
Okay, so good question. The question is about generally FOSS systems don't have good documents. What do we do about it? So the answer is it's actually a difficult question. FOSS systems are generally created for experts. Beginners certainly have a problem. So that is why we started creating the spoken tutorials as a way to address. Another help that we are giving is this textbook companion. Let me briefly tell what textbook companion is. Take a standard textbook, give, let's say if it is a Scilab textbook companion, for every worked out example, every solved problem, solved example of a textbook, let's say signal processing book, okay? For every solved example, I give Scilab code. If it is Python textbook companion, I give Python code. Collect all those. Okay. So I have, in fact, in Scilab we have about more than 400 textbooks already available. I didn't give a demonstration. 400 books are already available. Another 200 are in progress. Similarly, in Python also, 100 have been finished, and another 100 are in progress, and so on. So now I can say, at least for academic users, if a teacher says, I'm teaching signal processing, I don't know how to use Scilab, so I'm using MATLAB. So I ask them, what book are you using? Okay, here is the Scilab textbook companion. It has code for every solved example. So you want to know how to call FFT? It's there. You want to know how to do filter? It is there. So everything that is required for this course is there. Now we want to cover all subjects, many of the popular software systems. So as a result, we are addressing it indirectly because the documentation is extremely difficult thing. The question we asked was, can I use a student who is generally considered to be somebody who cannot create good documentation, right? Can we use students? We said, yes, we can do it by solving an inverse problem. Ask the students to create code for existing document. Textbook is a document. Okay? It's a difficult problem. We are attempting solutions. You are welcome to participate in that also. Maybe I should stop here. Thank you.